Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome to my next Let's Play, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. I'm really excited to get through this game. Honestly, I'm not the most knowledgeable Final Fantasy XII player, as you'll quickly realize, I know how to play the game, and I do know, I'm semi-competent at it. But for the most part, I'm not going to be, the most knowledgeable player ever. Anyway, let's just jump right on in. This game does start with a lot of cutscenes, so let's just go ahead and see what those are like. Yeah, it's a game I really, really like. Oh, right, we get to, start by getting the settings. I'm gonna... let's keep the vibration off so that way my button presses aren't even more annoying than normal. Let's see. Let's go with the reorchestrated stuff. Sound effects, voice. Yeah. All good. Okay. Begin the game. I should have mentioned, this is based on the Zodiac Job Edition that was put out in Japan after the initial release of Final Fantasy XII. I can go into more details of that later when we get to the main game. For now, just enjoy the cutscene.
In the name of the Father, and in the presence of these holy relics, I hereby pronounce you man and wife from this time forth. May the blessings of the gods light your path for all eternity. Far on.
An attack by both land and air, our kingdom will stand little.
Nabudis has fallen.
Impossible!
My father? I know not. I am sorry.
If Nabudis has indeed fallen, it is only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmasca. There is nothing to halt their advance.
Secure Nalbina with all haste.
I will go.
And I will go at his side.
Galtea, stand watch over your life.
That I be considered worthy.
We must withdraw!
No! The paling still stands.
Shield beyond sight. They're failing light.
The paling's fallen.
Then it's over.
For my father. For my father!
Lord Rasler!
Blessings of the Great Father descend, and guide your bodies return to the earth. Great Father, guide your spirits return to the Mother of all. There you shall find peace. Pharaoh.
The death of Lord Rasla Heos Nabradia was but one of many tragedies to befall the kingdom of Dalmasca. The air of hope that had surrounded Her Royal Highness Princess Asha's wedding was now quite lost. Dalmasca had been set adrift at the mercy of history's restless tides. At this time, two great empires struggled for dominion over Ivalice: Arcadia in the east, Rosaria the west. The invasion of the Kingdom of Nabradia was Arcadia's first step in its westward march. With Lord Rasla's beloved homeland consumed by the hellfires of war, it seemed clear that Arcadia would soon mete out a like fate to Dalmasca. The fall of the fortress at Nalbina told the destruction of the greater part of Dalmasca's forces. A counterattack was mounted by the order of the Knights of Dalmasca, ever brave and faithful. But against the martial might of the Arcadian armies, they stood little chance of victory. Indeed, their defeat was to be absolute. Soon thereafter, Arcadia came forward, offering terms of peace, or, as one might rather put it, terms of Dalmasca's surrender. Lord Ramenas, King of Dalmasca, and my dear friend, had no choice but to accept these terms. It was, thus, only with reluctance that he set out for Nalbina Fortress, now under Arcadian occupation, to affix his seal to the Emperor's Treaty of Peace. The king had scarce departed his royal city of Rabanasta when the remnants of the Order made their return, and not a moment too soon, for a terrible revelation awaited them. The treaty would be signed with steel and writ in royal blood.
Alright, I think that's the end of the opening cutscenes, and now we'll be going into the tutorial. I guess I could have
You there?
commented on it more, but I didn't.
Can you hear me?
Didn't want to spoil the spectacle.
It's as I feared. They're slowing us down.
Do not say that. Not all of us are here for love of battle. He fights to defend his homeland. Your name?
Rex, sir. My name's Rex.
Good. Rex. You bore a few cuts, but you are still whole. Well, can you stand?
Yeah, the tutorial doesn't actually,
Think you can fight?
I'm fine, sir.
doesn't actually have you playing as any of the main
How
characters.
old are you, Rex?
17, sir.
I should really wait to get all this out of the way.
Young. Family?
My brother is all I have left, sir. He's 2 years younger than I, living in Rabanastre.
So young. You're barely old enough to be a man. You shouldn't be forced to wield a sword.
No, sir. I want to fight. For my homeland. And for my parents.
It's time, Bosch. Save the discussion for later. We must reach the king before they act, or all our efforts will be in vain.
I'm aware of the situation.
We found them! Over there!
Bossler, go ahead. I will handle this rabble.
Godspeed.
Well, he's kind of good.
Steady, Rex. Keep your wits about you and you'll make it. We move!
But for this tutorial, we'll be playing as Rex instead of any of the main characters. Here's a good look at him. A lot of the people of Dalmasca seem to like to wear very stripperific outfits. It seems like a standard dress to have like some sort of chainmail bikini. But Bosch is just teaching us some of the basics of moving around and, you know, all the stuff that we're going to be using. I should probably be reading these lines. Ugh. Yeah, try to open the gate. Okay. It is time. We will drive back any Imperials standing between us and the king. Dalmasca's future hangs in the balance. Stay focused on the foes before you, Rex. I will watch rearward. Maybe I shouldn't be reading. They use more of a, like, Shakespearean-style dialogue. And I am not very good with Shakespearean-style dialogue. Yeah, we can use triangle to open the inventory and, well, party menu to access inventory and stats and all that stuff. You know, yeah, I don't think I need to read these out loud for people. Like, all the important events have voice acting, so the much more talented voice actors than I can read through all the stuff that's actually important. And anything they don't directly state is going to be, well, pretty straightforward. And here we get our very first boss battle.
Captain?
And if you played the original Final Fantasy XII, you get to hear the reorchestrated version of the boss music. Oh, right, I forgot to go over release history. Final Fantasy XII got its very first release back in 2006. Back at the time, it was renowned as the game with the longest development time. It was 6 years in development before the series before it came out. But yeah, it eventually got beaten out by the likes of Duke Nukem Forever and Final Fantasy 15. That was almost bad. Normally these NPC soldiers that are traveling with you, they have an infinite supply of potions, and they're normally pretty good about keeping you healthy. Let's see. After the 2006 release, it got what was dubbed what was called the International Zodiac Job Edition for Japanese audiences only in 2007. The international title. Oh, I forgot they talked.
She'll not hold much longer.
We receive you, Tomberry. You've leave to retire. Well fought.
My thanks, Antlion. Tonberry disengaging.
The international editions of Final Fantasy games is something that's actually been limited to Japan before. They're usually just updated re-releases. But in the case of 12, they added a whole new game mechanics instead of focusing on just expanding the story like they did with past international titles like Final Fantasy VII. Or at least that's what I heard. The job system was added into the game because the original developers noticed that when people played the game, they didn't focus on specific aspects when leveling their characters, instead choosing to make them all jacks of all stats. I remember I fell into that trap the first time I played Final Fantasy XII. I had everyone focused on like healing and stuff to the point where they kept healing off the damage that they could barely survive.
Where are you?
What if Captain Ozolus has fallen?
Don't talk such nonsense. Vossler's laughed in the face of death far too many times for him to stop now. Men like him don't die in places like this. We must make haste to reach the king. We will take him to safety.
Is His Majesty unharmed?
He'll agree to an unconditional surrender. They wouldn't dare touch him until the wax on his seal is dry.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty...
Wait. Quickly, Rex.
What was I saying again? I kind of forgot. Oh, right. They added the job system into the international release because the developer wanted to give people that more focused leveling experience he wanted them to use for the base game. And then when they gave the game a HD retouch, or HD polish, they put in that job system from that game, from the much better international version that used to be exclusively Japanese. You know, I'm just gonna run away from these guys. They keep infinitely spawning anyway, and there's not much point to fighting them off at this right now. Let's see. Here we get a save crystal. Yeah, I might as well go ahead and show off my save files. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep my first one, because that one is where I'm at the end of the game. I don't remember what the second one is, but we'll just override it anyway. Like, I notice a lot of Let's Players usually have multiple save files, and that's usually a very good thing. Okay. And then we go up the stairs, and we get more cutscene. Don't need to worry about exploring. There isn't too much to find, and
Intruders!
Don't really get to keep it.
Don't let them escape!
Sir, we have little time. You must go to the king. I'll handle these.
Fight well.
And then as for the release on the International Zodiac Job Age, the HD touch-up, it came out in 2017. And is definitely the most advanced copy of the game you can get. The biggest change between it and the Zodiac Job Edition that was Japanese exclusive is that each character can pick up to 2 jobs from the list of 12 rather than just 1 each. They put that in there because they got feedback about the game that most people wouldn't really be all that interested in it if they could only pick half of the jobs. feeling like they'd only get half the content, kind of missing the point that only using half the jobs would encourage multiple playthroughs to see what every job can do. So if you do pick this game up, you don't have to use 2 jobs. You can, but you don't have to. It's not even remotely required. Each job in this game can stand on its own. But I'm getting ahead of myself. They don't teach you that in the tutorial. Anyway, more cutscene. Wait, are they wearing... Oh, it looks like they were all wearing hot pants.
Your Majesty. Captain, why? Our king, what have you done?
The king intended all along to sell Dalmasca to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
Captain,
Is it just me, or does Bosch sound a little different?
Seize the insurgent. Along!
Well, so much for peaceful negotiations.
We'll never surrender to you. We are not cattle to be sold by a traitor king.
But the war is over, my dear captain. You have lost. Dalmasca is the property of the Empire now. And to think, we intended to let you keep some of your sovereignty, out of respect. But now you've gone and ruined that. Haven't you, Captain?
We will never bow to you.
And the people of Dalmasca will hate you for it. Take the captain away.
Off you go.
And then Rex collapses.
Vaughn.
Pretty morbid scene overall.
Pretenses of peace left by the wayside, the Arcadian forces resumed their advance toward Rabanasta. Dalmasca's doom had been decided. To make resistance would serve no end. With this foremost in my thoughts, I to the people of Dalmasca. Sons and daughters of Dalmasca, I bid you lay down your arms. Raise songs of prayer in their stead. Prayer for His Majesty King Raminas, ever merciful, a man devoted wholly to peace. Prayer, too, for the noble Princess Ash, who, wrought with grief at her kingdom's defeat, has taken her own life. Know also that Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg, for incitement of sedition and the assassination of His Royal Majesty King Raminas, has been found guilty of high treason and put to his death.
They hyphenated.
They who at this late hour choose still the sword are cut of the same cloth as the captain. Traitors who would lead Dalmasca to her ruin.
They abbreviated High King, High Royal Majesty.
Dalmasca's surrender without terms was soon to follow.
Kind of hilarious, I never noticed that before. We'll get to meet that guy later. It's why I haven't brought him up yet, but he acts as the narrator, and basically the story as we're experiencing it is him retelling the events. Which is weird, because he's not a party member. Spoiler alert, I guess. I do want to approach this game without spoiling too much.
Vaughn! Hurry it up or they'll find us.
I did kind of want...
I know. Just a little more. You keep an eye out for me up there, Kites. 1, 2, 3 more. All right. Time to clean house.
Well, I would love to do a more viewer-directed playing experience with this, like letting you all decide who gets what class and all that. I don't have the instilled viewer base to really do something like that. So I've already picked out what classes I want each character to be and why, and my reasons for picking them are mostly I'm going to be picking classes that seem to fit the characters on a more thematic scale, and it's just an excuse for me to put one of them into a weird class that doesn't actually fit them at all because I think it's funny.
Wow, Vaughn, you got them all yourself? Guess I know who to call when something big comes along.
Hey, it's good practice for the desert. I'm ready for anything now. That's enough for today. You should get back to Miguel's place, Kites. Aren't you running errands for him?
Oops, totally forgot.
That character we're playing as.
You should come, Vaughn. He's busy today. Might have some work for you to do, too.
I've got other, work to do. Hey, lock this place up for me, will you? If Miguel finds out we've been down here, he'll tan our hides.
Vaughn, he is our player character, and he's the character for whose perspective we're experiencing the story through, but he's not the main character. It's a very important distinction, and one at first I didn't like, but I've come to appreciate it over the years. Yeah, now we're gonna get an idea of what it's like to live in Dalmasca now that it's been conquered by the Arcadian Empire. I would say the Empire, but there's more than one.
Sir, you haven't paid, and what? Haven't paid? Second time. Please, sir, take it. It's a gift.
Leave the poor sod be. We don't want trouble today.
Your luck, peddler.
Oops, sorry.
Watch where you're going, churl.
What? My pouch! It's gone!
The boy! Get out the way!
Alright, and we're getting close to time, so as soon as I get control of Vaughn back, I'll go ahead and save and end the episode off here. Well, not here, but... You know what? I'll just end it when we get the chance to end it.
What? Hey, that's mine.
What do you mean, yours? You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you? We need you to be there for us, Vaughn. You're no good to anyone if you're locked away in a dungeon.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now? We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Pinello. You know it as well as I do. Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
I thought that this money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I never said anything about taking it back from me.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I help Miguelo out every now and then, it doesn't mean that you get to eat for free too, you know.
I know that. You think I like living like this? One of these days, I'll fly an airship of my own. I'll be a sky pilot, free to go where I will.
Well, be careful. You'll never fly anything if you're rotting in a dungeon. Oh, Miguelo had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
here we get the map tutorial. And the world map. Okay. So now that we have control of Vaughn back, I'll go ahead and cut the episode off right here, actually. Thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw and you looking to get more, go ahead and hit like, comment, and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Space Oyster signing out.